Hey guys, I was up around 3:15, 3:30 this morning. I'm a morning person. That is nothing for me to get up that early. So I said, okay, I'm going to get up and do some reorganization to my guest bedroom. But while doing that, I noticed I had an opportunity to clean out my closet once again. Clean out my closet once again. And when I was looking at my closet, I was like, D, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But then I said, no, no. Instead of coming down on myself, I said, when you know better, do better, D. And I had cleaned out my closet several weeks ago. But again, not really realizing how much stuff you have, I was like, okay, I have an opportunity to do more. So I started going through it. And it just really got me to thinking, do we really need all the stuff we have? Do we really need all this stuff? Or have we just bought into the concept that we need more and more and more? And I was like, it is so important to unclutter around your home so you can unclutter your mind. You just can't bring in new creativity, new thoughts, concepts. You really, know and really kind of vibe like you really want to vibe when you have all this stuff surrounding you. And it also had me thinking about the show Hoarders and how those individuals were just like us. They had a limited amount of stuff, and guess what happened? It started growing and growing and growing until it got out of control. It just got out of control. And I don't know if you've ever watched the episode of Hoarders. I've seen it, a couple of times. When the professionals come in and start trying to help them, they push back because they're not ready to let go of their belongings. That stuff is so important to them, and they feel like they can't do without it. Even though some of that stuff is molded, is stinky, is rotten, they do not want to let it go. But again, it just started, to getting me to start thinking about, uncluttering. So, I came with my handy notes to keep me on track, because if not, D will be all over the place, okay? So we don't want that. We don't want that. So I just want to talk a little bit about, uncluttering and why uncluttering decluttering, whatever you want to call it, is really important. Number one, clarity breeds creativity. When your surroundings are cluttered, your mind often feels cluttered as well. Organization clears physical and mental space, helping you to focus on what truly matters. This clarity opens up doors for new ideas, better problem solving, and creative breakthroughs. And I'm like, I'm going to share my experience about being so cluttered up, and how it can breathe life into you, breathe life. And another thing this made me think about, sometimes we're always thinking about we need to have a bigger apartment, a bigger home, when all you may need to do is remove some of the stuff that you're no longer using. Remove some of that stuff and you may have more room for bodies. It sounds crazy, but once you start removing some of that stuff, you're like, you know what? We don't need a bigger apartment. We don't need a bigger home. We're fine with what we have here. And it made me start thinking about, I live in Florida, and it made me start thinking about New York and how people live there. Their apartments are much, much smaller than what we have here in Florida. To have a 1,800, 2,500 square footage home, that's just the norm here. Or even with an apartment, the apartments here are like 900 square footage to like 1,200. That's like average. So when you start thinking, do you really need more space, or do you have too much stuff? Yeah. And I'm going to always bring a scripture to back me up if I can. So here it just talks about, in Corinthians 14:4, verse 40, it says, but all things should be done decently and in order. Even the word talks about how we should be in order. Our lives should be in order. Our finances should be in order. Our physical bodies should be in order. Order, order, order. Talking point number 2. Reduces stress, boosts productivity. Disorganization can cause anxieties, making even simple tasks feel overwhelming. An organized space reduces stress, allowing you to approach work or home life with a calm and focused mindset. I'm so glad it talked about work, because y'all, I had been in email junk. I had been in email craziness, and I'm like, D, you need to clean your emails. It's crazy that you haven't gotten hooked up yet. And I just had to go through and just start moving stuff over into folders and deleting stuff that was not of any use to me. Get organized. Get organized. Talking point number 3. Stewardship reflects gratitude. Organizing your space is a form of stewardship, showing care for the blessings you've been given. When your environment is in order, you can better manage resources, including your time, and maximize the opportunities God has placed before you. God has already given us everything that we need for the moment that we're in right now. But if we can't find it because it's all under a blanket, it's under the bed, it's hidden in the closet, we can't see it. And when you start going through that stuff, you're like, oh, okay, that's what I was looking for. I don't need this. Let me give this to Goodwill. Better yet, let me offer it to someone. Let me see if I can give it to someone first. But y'all, we have so much stuff. We receive so many blessings, and we don't even understand what we have in front of us. Another scripture, Luke 16, verse 10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Whoever can be trusted with very little can be trusted with much. If you can't be trusted with the small apartment you have now, why would you think you're going to be blessed with a bigger home? Go through and start cleaning out your cabinets, your closets, underneath your bed, getting rid of stuff you don't need, because you're going to open up the door for more, for what you need, your necessities. If you're looking to asking God for a home, show God you can care for your apartment. Show him you can care for your apartment. Same thing with the automobile. If your automobile is nasty, you open the trunk, everything is everywhere. Clean out that clutter so you can be, shown that you can be trusted with a better vehicle. More room, you're going to take care of it. You're going to keep it vacuumed. You're going to keep it smelling good. You're just not going to have things all over the place. And let's not use our kids as an excuse, because if we are teaching our kids the right type of principles, when you get in mommy and daddy car, you're not going to be eating all over the place. You're not going to be throwing French fries on the floor. You're not going to leave your hamburger buns, on the car seat. No, teach them early. We got to teach them early to care for our stuff, so that when they grow up and they get their own stuff, they can have lasting things. Not just allowing them just to step all over your stuff and just treat it any kind of way. Mom and dad, you work real hard. Grandparents, you work real hard for everything you have. Don't allow the grandkids just to come in and take over and just do your stuff any kind of way. No, we're not doing that. So just think about getting organized and making sure that you have the necessities and we don't have all these extras. Think about it, ladies. Talking to the ladies right now. How many more handbags do you need? How many more shoes do you need? Dee Dee, how many more hats do you need? As you guys can see behind me, I have a collage of hats all over my wall. My husband walks in here and he's like, girl. But how many more? I only got one head. So, but sometimes we can just get so, oh, that is so cute. That is so cute. I just got to have that. When you're going through the store, when you're in the store, do I need this or is this a want? It's okay with wanting things, but make sure you keep it in control because you don't want to become a hoarder. So again, let's just make sure that we are uncluttering. Let's unclutter our minds by uncluttering our homes and constantly keep the question before you. Do I need all this stuff? Do I need all this stuff? Okay? Until next time, continue to grow and glow. Take care.